guys, and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Thanks to all of my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys a lot for supporting my channel. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like this video and share this video, and then do not forget to hit on that notification bell just beside to get an update whenever I upload a new video. So that's just the essence of that bell there. So if you find this video helpful and you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. It actually takes nothing to do that. Just subscribe. I really like the word subscribe. So guys, today I'm actually going to be showing you how to cut and sew this and double puff and blouse. The blouse is just gorgeous. I just came across it and I decided to do a tutorial on it. I really love it. So that's just basically what I'm going to be showing you how to cut today. And this and blouse, you could decide to make it as a bustier, or you could decide to just make it with your regular waist dart. But this, I'm going to be making mine as a bustier because I want it to have fullness here. So I already have my fabric cut out. I have two fabric cut out for the back and then the front. So the first line I have, yes, it's an off shoulder, so you could see. So I'm going to separate -5 inches from my measurement. That's going to be for the shoulder. That's from this point to this point where it's going to start from. And then my bust line is 11 inches, so this is my 11 inches. And then the under bust, which is this point, this is it. And then my half cut, that's what I'm going to be cutting, it is 18 inches. And then the rest I'll use as allowance to stitch. So I'm going to be cutting out the darts now for this, and the dart I'm going to be making use of, 4.5 inches dart, because my bust span from one nipple to another is actually 8 inches. So I'll add half an inch to it, which is 9. So I'll divide into 2, so you have 4.5. So I'm just going to mark my 4.5 from up down. So for my old subscribers, this is not supposed to be an issue. I have lots of videos on my channel on how to do this. So we're going to take out the dart now. I'm just going to take 1 inch to this side and then 1 inch to this side. And then I'll connect it to this point like this. And then connect this one to this point. And then I'll come to this point, I'll take out 1 inch and then ½ inch to the left. So I'll connect this to this now. I'll just connect it like this and then connect this. So guys, this is just like we're basically done. So I'll just bring 1 inch here and then 1 inch here. That's from this line, 1 inch, 1 inch. And then I'll mark it down like this. So this is our dart. So I'm just going to cut it out. I'll cut out only the front. So this thing is not really straight, so you could see it's a little bit curvy. So this is it. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to place this on top of this to cut out my full body measurement. So I'm going to use measure out my shoulder measurement, which is 14. You divide into 2, you have 7 inches. So this is the 7 inches. And then I'll measure 1 inch allowance. And then from this point now, I'm going to measure out my bust measurement, which is 9.36. And then I'll add allowance. And then I'll measure out my waist measurement, which is 7.5. And then I'll add allowance. All this measurement are actually divided into 4, sorry. So into 4. So from this point now, measure out my armhole measurement. So remember the 5 inches that we did. So you still subtract it from there, and then I'm going to come like this. And then I'll come like this. So guys, we are literally done with the top part of our blouse. So I'm just going to place this on this point and then cut out the back. So for the back, I'm just going to put a mark here. I'm going to be doing the regular waist dart for my back and for the back of this dress. So I'll put my zipper allowance notch here. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out the neckline. So for the neckline, I'm going to make use of 3 inches width. That's for the width. I'm going to make use of 3 inches. And you remember our 5 inches already for the top point. So I'm just going to come. So I don't want it to be too deep. So I'm going to use 6 inches from this point like this. And then I'm going to mark it out like this. Both for the back and the front neckline. And then from this point, I'm just going to come 1 inch like this, or half an inch. And then I'm going to connect like this. So I'm going to cut out the back neckline and the front neckline. I'm cutting them the same. So guys, we're done with the top part. So the next thing we're going to do now, so this is it. So if you want your neckline to be wider, you could decide to cut it all off. So it depends on what you want. So with this now, you cut out your lining. So I'll open up the back. So the next thing I'm going to cut out now, we're going to cut out the peplum. So you remember the waist measurement that we used for this was actually 30 inches. So I'm going to measure out my peplum. I'm just going to freehand it. So for the peplum, so I'm just going to use the regular peplum formula, which is 6.28, to cut this out. So I have lots of videos on my channel on how to do this. I don't want to deliberate on it, so I'm just going to mark it out. So I'm just going to take them to my machine now and then stitch everything together. So in stitching, I'm just going to stitch. I'm going to start from the top like this. For the front part piece, I'm going to start from the top, stitch it like this, and then stitch this side to it. So you could decide to iron your gum on it to make it to make it full. And then after gumming it, after ironing this, I'll attach this to the down part and then come back and cut out the sleeves for you. Okay guys, so you could see my top. So I finished and joining the top, that part, and the down part. So the next thing I'm going to teach you how to cut now is the sleeve. So for the sleeve, so I have my fabric measured out. So what I'm going to do now, for the sleeve, you could determine how long and how wide you actually want it to be, because it's going to be an exaggerated sleeve. So what I'm going to make use of now, the length I'm making use of is 30 inches. So and then I folded it into, and so this is the two, the back and the front one, and then the width is 21 inches. So I'm just going to fold it like this. So this is both and sleeves together. So I'm just going to cut it out, and then when I'm done, I'm going to make a strap like this. That is what I'm going to use to connect it. So I'm just going to make a strap. I'll make a strap like this, and then I'll attach the sleeve to this point. So I'm just going to explain it to you later when I get to that part. So but then we'll just cut out our regular sleeve. So I'll make use of my entire measurement. So I'm just going to come to this point now, since I'm making use of 3 inches for my cap. So I'm just doing it like this, and then I'm cutting it out straight. Because I'm going to be pleating it, so I'm making use of 11 inches. So I'm just going to cut it out. So this is both the two sleeves together. I'm just going to cut it out now. So I have my both sleeves. So I'm just going to come to the center of my sleeve. So you could determine to make a bigger puff on top or down. So it depends on what you actually want. So since I'm using 21 inches, I'm going to make the down puff. The length that I'm using is 30 inches. I'm not going to stop at 15. So I'm going to make the down puff a little bit bigger than the up one. So I'm going to come to 13 inches here. So I'll mark 13 inches. I'm just going to mark it. I'm going to be fixing an elastic on this point. So I'll do the same thing to the other sleeve also. and then the down, I'll fix a band here at the down. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'll take it to my machine now and show you how to fix the elastic here. Okay guys, so I'm going to start sewing now. So I cut out an elastic strap of about 10 inches. So that's what I'm just going to be using to divide the center point. So the next thing I'm going to do now, after sewing on the middle part, I'll come to the down part. So I'm going to pleat it now. You pleat it to fit into your wrist and measurement. So it depends on your wrist and measurement. So I'm just going to do that now. So you cut out a band that you are going to use. So the band that I have here is 5 inches. So on fold is 2.5, and then you just stitch it on top of it. So I finish stitching this one. Then we'll come back to the top part now. So for the up part, that's the where the armhole will be. That's for this top part. For the shoulder part, you pleat this top part to fit half of your measurement. So for instance, if your armhole, you measure your hand from your sleeve from this point to this point. So mine is actually 12 inches. So and then you pleat this at 12 inches, and then you attach, you make out a band. Depends on how wide you want it to be. So the band that I have here, this is 2 inches. So I'm going to cut out 12 inches or like 13 inches because of the stitching allowance. I'm going to cut out 13 inches, and then I'll pleat this point to fit into this. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay guys, so now the next thing I'm going to do now, so I finished stitching it. So this is the shoulder part. I'm going to measure how much an armhole I have here on this point. Now I'm going to measure how much armhole I have here. So what I actually have here now is 5 inches. So I'm just going to take this like this. I'm just trying to get out the actual point where I'm going to be opening, because I'm going to be closing up the rest and part. So I'll take this point like this, and then this is the top part. I'm just going to turn it like this. So you could decide, you could just measure out the 5 inches straight from there. So I'm just going to place it like this, and then I'll measure it out like this. So I'm going to be trimming this point like this now to create like a armhole opening. And then in creating it, you make sure that this point, you have your inches. That's for your, that's this measurement that I talked about. You make sure that yours is complete. You have the exact measurement here. That's where you are going to be cutting it from. So I'm just going to cut just like half an inch to that point like this. I'm going to cut it like this. So you see, I've created like the armhole now. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to join my sleeve down to my wrist measurement. So I will just do that now. Okay guys, so this is the sleeve. So the next thing I'm going to do now, so I finished joining it, I'm just going to fix it now. And in fixing it is really simple. This is what I'm going to be doing. I'll just take a part of the top, and then I'll turn my sleeve like this from this point like this. So I'm just going to place it here like this, and then I'll fix it up to the armhole point. So you see, and then I'll do the same thing to the other side. So you're just going to take it like this, like I said, and then you start stitching from the point, from that exact point like this, and then you just stitch along the armhole, along your armhole, and then when you get to the middle, you just stop, and then you start from the other side again. So I'm just going to wrap it up and then come back and put it on my mannequin for you to see the final look. Okay guys, so this is the final look of our off-shoulder double puff sleeve blouse. So because my mannequin does not have sleeve, so I just had to adjust it. So this is how the sleeve is. So when you put it on, you just pull it to wherever you want to pull it up to, and then it becomes something like this. So you could see. So guys, I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please do not hesitate to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already, and then like this video, and you could drop a comment down for me on the comment section if you're having any questions. So guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Have a nice day and God bless.